believe relationships are at the core of what makes a good teacher great. Strong relationships among teachers at a grade level enable collaboration with both planning engaging lessons and planning the most effective use of time and resources.
Sharon has been the grade level chair for the past 3 years, and she is such a great leader. She keeps us focused as a team, helps us get our tasks accomplished, and we love having her here at Just a Tea, and she's a great teacher as well.
Sharon fosters a positive relationship on our grade level by going out of her way to make sure everybody feels included. She not only speaks with kindness, but she shows it daily.
I know that I work hard because Sharon lets me know she believes in me, which makes me want to do my best and make her proud.
Collaborative teachers trust one another enough to share with their students in order to meet every child at their level. Strong relationships with parents allow student learning to extend to the home, encourage parents to volunteer and become more involved at school, and build trust that the school is looking out for the child's best interest.
The thing that was most important was the way that she treated him as an individual and met that nurturing need that he had as a young first grader. Best example of this is a couple months into the school year. I was putting him to bed one night. We had finished story time and our prayers. And just out of the blue, he said to me, he said, "Mommy, I think that Mrs. Nizialek is the prettiest mommy." And that just touched me so deep in my heart, just to know that she met not only the academic needs that he had for learning, but she also met that nurturing need.
From her relationships to her love to her calmness, Sharon Nizialek is awesome.
Couldn't ask for a more patient and wonderful person to teach our daughter.
Miss Nizialek is the most amazing, awesome teacher. She treats each and every child as her own. And my granddaughter loves coming to school every day just because of this woman. She is awesome. She has made her first grade year so amazing. I couldn't ask for a better teacher.
And strong relationships with students enable them to feel comfortable enough to take risks in their learning, know it's okay to fail because you will be there to support them, thus building perseverance, causing students to work harder, behave better, and ultimately help them to become the very best that they can be.
I knew Miss Nizialek loved me because she always made me feel safe.
And Tatum, and the most memorable thing that we did in Miss Nizialek's class was the dance parties on Fridays. Yes, I mean dance parties. She would crank up the beat and we would all go into our dancing.
Is awesome, and I know that because I had her last year, and she always smiles, and she still does, and that's how I know she loves me. I love you, Miss Nizialek.
I know Miss Nizialek is special because she loves me all the time, and she hugs everyone, and she is very sweet and kind to other people.
I knew Miss Nizialek loved me because she always took an interest in my personal life.
With all that being said, I now give you my own version of David Letterman's infamous Top 10. The Top 10 Ways Sharon Nizialek Builds Relationships. Number 10. Tell students about myself and family often. This allows students to know me better as a person and to build trust. They learn about my children, my pets, our sporting activities, and even the half marathon that I'm training for. Number 9. Give a hug, a smile, or a good morning and mention every student by name as they come in. This requires me to get to school a little earlier in the morning to get everything else ready, but it sure is worth it to get the big hug first thing. Number 8, be a good listener. Listen to kids, parents, and colleagues alike. Show them that I value their opinion and what they have to say.
Being a part of a Title I school, these kids need someone who will just listen. No one does listening better than Miss Nizialek. Her intentionality is what helps her build relationships.
Number 7, offer words of encouragement and affirmation often. I do this not only with praise, but by helping students set goals and celebrate with them as they move closer to them.
Was to make sure that you put periods at the end of your sentence
And you've got, we played with my toys like, what was your toy? Jenga. Jenga, and look, you have a stop sign. The next day we played pie base, and look, you have a stop sign. We opened Shopkins. I got Shopkins, and look what you have. Did you meet your goal to put periods at the end?
Yes.
Give me 5, girl.
Number 6, always start with the positive. I like to begin even before school begins at the start of the year with a positive phone call home or a home visit. Whether it's an email to a parent at an SST meeting or an IEP meeting, I always like to start with the strength of the child or a nice story to tell to get the meeting off to a good start.
If you had to think of one word to describe Sharon Nizialek, what would that one word be?
I would say positive. Whenever you'd walk into class, she'd be smiling at you and she'd ask you how your day was, and she acted like she really cared about how you were feeling. And so it was just a very happy mood throughout the class all day long.
Number 5 of my top 10 ways to build relationships is to bring on the fun. Whether we are taking brain breaks with dancing, becoming the Wizard of Oz characters, being a flight attendant as we traveled the 7 continents, I really believe it's all about the fun to hook students into learning and wanting to come to school. Number 4, laugh. Laugh at myself, laugh at what the kids say, and laugh with my colleagues.
I'm 6 and I talk like I'm 7. Is that weird?
Number 3, brag on others' accomplishments. Whether it's uplifting a student teacher by embracing an idea or strategy that she has, telling the class that a student came up with a new strategy that we can all use, all these things help build relationship in our class.
Ashlyn, I just saw you do something for Jaylyn. Tell us what you did.
I'm gonna go with it. I make her happy.
How did you make Jaylyn happy? Did you notice Jaylyn had a problem?
Yes.
What was her problem? She didn't have any Play-Doh, so what'd you do?
Make her happy.
By doing what?
Give her Play-Doh.
And that is the Chastity way, Ashlyn. You just showed her how to solve a problem. You saw a problem and solved it, and that makes my heart happy when you do that. And I have some Bravo bucks for you too, doll. Nice job.
Number 2, pray for my students. I pray for my students before the school year even begins, and I continue, especially during the daily moment of silence in the mornings, to pray throughout the year. And my number 1 way to build relationships, I learned from Joe. Joe was in my class the year I returned to teaching after my own children were born. He was so similar to my own son that I remember watching Drew walk down the kindergarten hall without me for the first time. And with tears in my eyes, I turned around towards my own classroom, and there was Joe. It was almost as if my son Drew had never left. As the year went on, I learned from Joe that every kid in my classroom should be treated just the way I would want my own child to be treated. So some days when I'm really tired or busy, and a student wants me to get out that messy art project, or it's indoor recess and they want to get Play-Doh out yet again, and I really don't want to, I think about Joe, and I think, what would I want Drew and Joe's teachers to do? And then the answer is always, get out the Play-Doh and the messy art project, and so that's what I do. This thought process of what Joe would want me to do stays with me constantly, especially now, as I know that Joe is watching me from above.